Alright, and welcome to ACP Transformations Level 3. Now this is going to be a rather challenging video, so really get your mind ready for this one because this could be a little bit tricky. In our last video, we discussed what about when we're given g of x, and g of x is some function, and then we're given some function f of x, and then what we wanted to do was we wanted to go ahead and build a 3-column table, something along the lines of this, and then we could actually find the changes in A by using division. We could find the changes in our negative h value by using subtraction, and we could find the changes in our k value by using subtraction as well. Okay, now in this function, in this problem, what we're given is f of x is equal to, let's see here, x minus 5 cubed, and then a nice plus 2 out there for k. But we're not explicitly given what g of x is. In fact, we're given the graph of g of x, which you can see right here. Okay, so how in the world do you find g of x when given the graph? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to find the vertex. Okay, so we can notice here that our vertex is at -4, comma, -1. So this actually goes 2/3 of the way. We can say, look, if our x value is -4, so x is -4, what could we add to -4? What could we add to -4 to make this grouping equal to 0? Well, if x is -4, the opposite of -4 is +4, cubed. Okay, if we have a -1, we just put -1. Alright, now the next thing we have to determine is what is our a value? And the way you do this is just by going 1 unit to the right and then just going up to the graph. So in this case, we went 1 unit to the right and 1 unit up. Our a value can be written as 1 over 1, or aka our a value is 1. Perfect. By the way, let's go ahead and write our f of x a value. It's 1. Just whenever there's no number in front, it's assumed to be 1. Okay, at this point, so as I go to write my rule, let's just go ahead, write it out. We have g of x is equal to something f of x something. Okay, well, let's tackle this. We see here that our g of x value is 1 divided, because we use division, right? 1 divided by 1 is 1. And so our a value is 1. You don't even need to write it, but let's just go ahead and do it for our sake. Now here, in our negative h value, we want to use subtraction. So I can say I have +4 minus a -5. And of course, we know that 2 negatives make a positive. And 4 plus 5 is 9. Lastly, for our k value, we have a -1. And of course, we use subtraction, -1 minus 2, which is -3. All right? And there you go. We took our level 2 skill of writing the rule, and all we did this time was just add the getting the function from the graph. All right, let's go ahead and do one more together. Okay, number 2 says given f of x, let's go ahead and write that out. We have f of x is equal to the cubic root of x minus 4 minus 3. And of course, we would like to find what g of x is. And when we can do that, when we can find g of x, we can go ahead and write our 3-column table where we can find our a value by using division. We can find our negative h value by using subtraction, and our k value by using subtraction as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to test these things out. The first thing that I notice, switch this blue color, is that my vertex, the middle of the graph, is right here. And it is at -4, comma, -3. Now remember, this will get you 2/3 of the way there. You can go ahead and draw your cubic root symbol and your x, and x is the -4. So if this is -4, I need to add 4. And then on the outside, we have this -3, well, we can put -3. Okay. And the next thing you want to ask yourself is, what in the world is my a value? Well, you always find the a value by going 1 unit to the right, and then just put a point on the graph. So notice when we go 1 unit to the right, this is the point when you go straight up where it hits the graph, and we went up 2 units. Well, remember, this is really rise over run, so you can think of this as 2 over 1. And so my g of x a value is 2. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's write our rule. And that's g of x is equal to, I'll leave a space, f of x something. And let's tackle this. I see here that my a value is 2 divided by my a value here. There's nothing there, so it's assumed to be a 1. And 2 divided by 1 is, of course, 2. So the a value for my rule is 2. Here I have a positive 4 minus a negative 4. And 2 negatives, of course, make a positive. 4 plus 4 is 8. And lastly, right here, I have negative 3. Remember, we're going to use subtraction. Minus negative 3. Let's see. 2 negatives make a positive, and negative 3 plus 3 is actually equal to 0. So wait, I actually don't even write anything right there. And so this is my rule. Alright, y'all. I hope this helps, and I'll catch you in our next video series.